Stop learning Flutter and start profiting from it. We have essentially arrived at a place where AI creates code and humans create value. What I mean by this is that learning coding and learning programming is not as valuable as it once was. It has become something that most people can do, and the barriers to entry have become a lot lower than they have ever been. I have concluded that there are essentially three paths left to take. One is deep dive software engineer. Path number 2 is vibe coder. And path number 3 is obsolete. In the next 8 minutes, we're gonna go through exactly how you can pick one of the first 2 paths as opposed to becoming obsolete. Now, here's the deal. AI has already changed the game. 62% of all programmers already use AI in their daily work, and 88% of developers report that it has made them more productive. Developers can now crank out more code in the same amount of time. However, one con that still remains as of today is that a lot of developers, around 55%, don't necessarily trust all of their code. So we've arrived at a point where people can code and they can create a lot faster, and they are doing so, and they are believing that it's making them more productive. However, we're not trusting the code in its fullest. So this is what opens up the first path, which is the deep dive software engineer. So at the core, if you have niche expertise knowledge in an area, you will always be relevant to some degree. And what I mean here is that these are going to be the people who understand, software engineering, they understand mobile architecture, they understand how to build mobile apps in a very, very, very detailed level. And they can do this, pretty much with their eyes closed. They know how the syntax works, they know how the compilation of mobile apps in like Flutter, for example, or React Native works, and they just understand it at its core. This means that when things do go wrong, or when you need some more advanced novel technology that maybe AI has not learned yet because you're using an API or an endpoint that was just released 2 weeks ago and has not been processed by an AI engine yet, for example, you are going to be the person that they call. And I think for Flutter, what this entails is really understanding mobile architecture. So this goes from being a coder, with a coder being someone who can take a problem and just say, okay, this is the number of lines of code I need to write to solve this problem, and here's the code that I need to write. Essentially, you're not really doing anything super creative, and you're not really doing any groundbreaking stuff. You're just taking a ticket of a bug, and you're cranking through your day just solving this ticket. I think if you are this person, you are on a path to be replaced. However, if you're someone who thinks up and dreams up these larger enterprise level applications that require complexity and that requires integrations of multiple different things, and become this expert in your field and make sure that you never go obsolete. And there are a couple of different areas where you could specialize here. For example, one is prompt engineering. So how can you as a lead engineer in a team of other software engineers, for example, ensure that you're using AI in an accurate and a reliable manner? How can you instruct them on how to use prompts to get your code engines to actually output code that is pretty good? And second of all, how can you ensure that the code that you write is secure and that it's safe? So this could be, for example, having other engineers do the code for you, and then you go ahead and you do the safety testing, you do the review, for example, of all of the codes that they submit, and you're kind of that final layer of human that approves this code. So I think you should definitely look into architecture, state management, security, cryptography to some degree even, and then take it from there. And I don't mean that you shouldn't use any AI enabled tools at all, but what I mean is that you need to rely on your knowledge and your expertise and your judgment as a human in order to help other people excel with their AI level programming. So what you do when you take this path is you avoid becoming a coder or a programmer, but you could become an AI-enabled software engineer. Someone who's able to use AI, but someone who understands software engineering and someone who understands how to take a problem here and output a solution here and everything that happens in between. If you understand this deeply, I think there's definitely going to be a career path for you, whether you choose to work for yourself or if you choose to work at a larger company. Path number 2, which I'm kind of on the road of, because I'm definitely not as good as programming as I was 3 years ago. But this is the indie maker. An indie maker, or a vibe coder as some people like to call them, is someone who uses AI programming or AI enabled programming tools such as Cursor, such as ChatGPT, such as Lovable, in order to build low or no code tools and software. And this person will iterate very quickly. So they will have an idea, they will pretty much put together an MVP or something of that sort in a weekend, and then they will validate that. So for example, you have an idea on the Friday, you start building it on the Saturday, and on the Sunday, thanks to all of the progress that has been made in AI-enabled coding, you're able to have a product of some sort that you can then test. If this works, fantastic. Double down, improve it. Maybe you hire a software engineer in the future once you've done well enough, but you double down, you improve this product, and you build something major out. And if it doesn't work, then obviously you scrap it, move on to the next one because you've only invested 2 days. So these are the people who are going to be able to come up with some of the most innovative new ideas, in my opinion, because they're going to be able to have volume on their side, with volume being the number of ideas that they're going to be able to test in the shortest amount of time. However, there's also going to be a lot more people on this side because it is a lot easier to choose this indie maker path than it is to choose the software engineering path. And truth be told, 55% of indie projects make $0, and 80% of them make less than $1,000. So there's definitely a lot of money to be lost if you choose this path, but also you're not investing as much time learning and really understanding software to the degree you would if you were to choose the software engineer path. So if you were to choose the vibe coder or the indie maker, I think the best way to look at it is to throw as much spaghetti at the wall as possible and then seeing what sticks. You're going to be using things such as Lovable, Cursor AI, ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, just to name a few. And you're gonna take ideas from maybe social platforms, TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, for example, and you're gonna be making these ideas into MVPs that you're then gonna launch and validate, see if you can get a little bit of traction. If you do, then great, double down on it, do as much as you can. If you don't, then dispose of it. If you can rinse and repeat this process and have this patience in the macro that you're gonna maybe have to try this 17, 18, 98 times before you get some type of success, then I think you can definitely have a lot of success as an indie coder or a vibe coder, as the internet likes to call it these days. And path number 3 is obviously obsolescence. And I think this is you if you choose to just learn Flutter and you just want to learn how to build mobile apps, but you kind of don't really want to know the whole process. You don't want to learn, about the architecture, how this actually works. You don't want to know how to use advanced features and how to help integrate other advanced features into this app, for example, but rather you just want to be the one who takes a Flutter job, which are dwindling, by the way, if you look and compare to 2020 figures, for instance. But if you just want to get a Flutter job, you want to get your Jira tickets come in, you want to see, okay, this is the bug I'm working on today, you want to write some code, you want to test it, basically submit the code for review, and you want to go home and you want to watch Netflix, then I think the AI revolution is coming for you. Because I think software engineers that are AI enabled or vibe coders are going to be able to solve for the problem that you're currently solving for. It's becoming increasingly so, but even if you're still relevant today, if you're one of these people, I don't think you will be so for long. So I think if you're in this state where you kind of understand programming, but you don't really understand the software engineering side, and you don't really understand the entrepreneur, make it, test it, launch it, dispose of it side, if you don't really understand either of those two, but you're somewhere in the middle, you just know how to write the code, I think you need to pick one lane and you need to stick that lane, or you need to look into something else, because I'm willing to bet that within 10 years you're going to be obsolete, maybe even sooner. But that is not to make this a negative video, because it's not at all. This is enabling a lot of people who are tech savvy, who have a love for tech, the people who are very tech savvy, they're very good at learning and they're very interested in learning. There's definitely going to be a path for them. And it's also going to enable a lot more people who have ideas, who are creative, who want to solve real life problems and some not so real life problems as well, to create products and to make products and then launch them to the public at a much faster rate than they otherwise would have. So we're going to see some people with a lot more technical knowledge, and we're going to see a lot more people being able to launch some degree of product. And I think you need to choose either one of those. Do you want to be the technophile who's very good at the tech, or do you want to be kind of the marketer entrepreneur who just sees an idea, builds it out, and iterates on that? It's for you to decide. As I mentioned, I used to be pretty good at Flutter. I used to be able to build mobile apps that were, full stack. I could do the job of a 3-person team. It used to be my specialty. And I've built several enterprise level apps, but now, these days, especially since the end of 2024, I've kind of pivoted and iterated more towards becoming an indie maker. And obviously I have a little bit of an advantage since I've had some of that software engineering side, but I'm definitely rapidly forgetting that side. And I'm now able to have an idea and I'm able to put out an app that kind of validates that idea in a weekend, as you've seen me do on my vlog many times. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And I'm at the point now that in 2025, and I'm recording this in May, I have launched and released 11 mobile apps. So it's pretty quick, and it just goes to show how fast you can iterate. So that's the path I'm choosing. I have a couple of these templates in my WAP community that you can join. The link is down below. It's completely free of charge to join. It's just a nice community where we have micro SaaS types of products for mostly the people who choose the indie maker path, but also if you're a high-tech software engineer, then you're obviously welcome too. But there's some templates in there that you can use to get your micro SaaS journey started as soon as possible. So definitely check that out down below. So that is my thoughts. I also usually get a lot of hate when I make these videos, but you get the gist. I'm not hating on Flutter as a framework, I'm hating on learning just Flutter. I think you need to either learn software engineering with maybe Flutter as your tool, or you need to learn how to indie and vibe code, which, and again, maybe use Flutter as your tool, but with other AI-assisted programs. You need to pick one of those. I'm not hating on Flutter as a framework, I'm hating on the people who want to stay in the middle and become obsolete. I'm not even hating on you, you do you. I'm just sharing my opinion out here on the internet. But with that said, if you like this type of content, then let me know down below what you want to see. If you disagree or if you agree, also let me know. The comments always get heated when I post these videos, so it's always a fun time. But feel free to subscribe, it's completely free of charge, it's a bargain, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.